three players have booked their playoff places. The middler, Humphries and Price, will be at the O2. But who will join them? Seven-time Premier League champion Michael Gerwen starts the night inside the top four.
Well, welcome to talkSPORT's coverage of the Premier League Darts, and after 14 weeks of battle all over Europe, we have got the penultimate night of league phase action. Some things are decided. Luke Littler, Luke Humphries and Gerwyn Price are all guaranteed their spots at the playoffs at the O2 in London. Stephen Bunting, despite winning in Berlin, will not be there. He is eliminated. But the fourth and final spot for the playoffs is still up for grabs, and it's up for grabs for any of the other players in action. Tonight's action in Aberdeen could decide it, or it could all come down to the final week in Sheffield next Thursday. I'm Dan Dawson. Paul Nicholson will be joining us for tonight's coverage, but joining me to preview this evening is Chris Mason, Mace the Ace, a former winner of a TV title, Mace. I'll put that out there. The Irish Masters, it was on the telly, technically a TV title. Mace, tonight, all the players who are fighting it out, look, Dobey, Cross, they've got very, very outside chances, but it's MVG and Nathan Aspinall. The first game of the night, this is huge, and it's not going to be decisive this one game, but if Van Gerwen wins the whole night, that will put him through. Anything else that happens, it is going to come down to next week, and it could be MVG versus Aspinall again. We are in a sort of uber mega playoff situation between those two.
Yeah, currently 4 and 5, and then could be 4 and 5 next week, but in different positions. And again, that match next week that could potentially happen, because the final evening will be 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, so on and so forth. So it could well come down to that match where they face each other next week, and winner takes it all and takes their place at the O2.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed that those two will play each other next week. It is very, very likely. The fact that they are playing each other, and it is 4th versus 5th on this penultimate night, it makes it one of the biggest games of the entire 4 months. Now, and look, I know 2 points is 2 points, whether you win it on week 1, week 2 or week 15. However, because of what we know, because what they know, it is going to feel slightly different than when they played each other in, I don't know, Belfast in week 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, and Nathan has the upper hand this year in the Premier League. Met 4 times. Nathan's won 3 of them, but you've got to add the element of pressure, the situational pressure as well, because they are playing for a spot in the finals tonight. And although it'd be nice for, well, one of either Littler or mathematically it could be Humphries, but unlikely. It don't matter where you finish as long as you're in the top 4 and you're in that finals night, and you're playing for a ton of money. So important thing is just to qualify, and the form of MVG has also got to be of concern, because he is just so erratic.
Yeah, he is very erratic. When we come to that, we'll talk more about the specific games. But let me run you through the table, because look, a whole bunch of these guys, they've been, apart from the 2 Lukes, who've been right up near the top pretty much all the way through. Players have been in the qualifying spots and out of the qualifying spots. It's a tournament that goes on for 4 months, so there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing. But now we're at the business end, so it really, really counts where you are. So I'll go from top to bottom. Luke Littler already qualified, 38 points, just 1 win off equaling the 40 mark, which is the record that he matched last year. Johnny Clayton also won 40 points when he won the league phase, didn't win the title a couple of years ago. Then it's Luke Humphries, 7 points behind on 31 points. Gerwyn Price qualified on 24 points, and then Michael Van Gerwen, 20 points in the last qualifying spot. Now, Nathan Aspinall is only 1 point behind, despite the fact that he's won a night and Van Gerwen hasn't won a night. He's actually won the same number of games as Michael Van Gerwen. He has lost 1 fewer than Michael Van Gerwen, and yet he has fewer points. It's the mad scoring point system that we have in the Premier League, where some matches are worth more points than others. I didn't make the rules, he didn't make the rules, don't blame us, that's just how it is. Then we've got the 2 outsiders in Cross and Dobey. Cross on 14 points, so 6 points off the top 4 as things stand, and he's definitely going to see either Aspinall or MVG pick up some points tonight, so he could be ruled out by the end of it. Dobey is on 12 points, so 8 points off the top 4, and then it's Bunting on 10 points, a man who did win in Berlin, but he's not going to make the top 4 in his return to the Premier League after 10 years away. So, the games. the first one, and we are going to focus on this one a lot because it is the big game of the night. Aspinall versus MVG. The basic rule is if Van Gerwen wins the whole night, he is going to qualify, and this is done and dusted. Next week in Sheffield is just playing for positions, and there might not even be that much movement around in those positions. So to be honest, for the good of the tournament, a Nathan Aspinall win would be quite good. But I'm not actually convinced that MVG is the deserved favourite in this game. How would you price this up if you were a bookmaker?
Oh, I'd probably, if Aspinall had to throw, I'd probably make them 5 to 6 each of 2. I can't really split them. The fact that he does have the upper hand in the Premier League, obviously, overall his record is inferior to that of MVG.
But that is Michael. That's including Michael Van Gerwen in his pomp when he was winning everything, though.
Exactly. Yes, 2010 in favour of MVG and one draw, which should have been in the old Premier League. But yeah, I fancy Aspinall to win, to be honest. But you're always second guessing with it, Michael. Now the Euro Tour he won not very long ago just came out of nowhere, really, because he's been struggling to string multiple games together. He did it in the Premier League for, I think, about 6 or 7 nights where he won a game and then lost one, won a game and then lost one. He just can't seem to just find that consistency. And listen, it's been well documented. The throw has changed over time. I think the ambition's still there with him. I'm not sure whether the drive is to practice and like that famous quote. Getting out of bed on a cold, rainy morning when you're in silk pajamas and silk sheets. It's maybe he's going through that. He's got a family and he loves being at home. So, yeah, I'm not sure what it is with Michael. I think it's a combination of all of the above, to be honest. But Aspinall, you know what we're going to get from him. He really is a street fighter. He won't roll over and have his belly tickled. He'll be fighting for the last dart.
Well, look, Michael Van Gerwen does have the silkiest of pyjamas, the 7-time Premier League champion. He has won everything multiple times, and yet he is a man who has not won a major title since the back end of 2023. The last major ranking title that he won was the back end of 2022. And that Euro Tour that you mentioned, he won in Munich and was brilliant on the final day. He hit a 9-darter. He hit something like 60% of his doubles over the course of that day. The day before in his opening game, Kim Huybrechts missed multiple match darts to beat him. And had he taken those chances, Van Gerwen has not only not won that title, he's not won any title so far this year. That was his first for 6 months. But his win percentage is even worse than it currently is. And it is the worst out of all 8 players in the Premier League. This year, he's winning 44% of his games in the Premier League, which is, that's similar to the likes of Aspinall, and it's better than Chris Dobey and Bunting. In all tournaments, it is 52%. Now, Michael Van Gerwen in his pomp was winning 80% of the games he played. When he dropped off a little bit, was still winning things, it was 70%. Then it went down to sort of 60% in the last year or so. Now it is at 50%. It is the degradation of MVG. If he was a brand new player who's doing what he's doing, we'd be going, wow, this lad's amazing. But he isn't. He's Michael Van Gerwen, arguably the second greatest player in existence.
Yeah, and the darting landscape has changed so much in the last couple of years. The strength and depth now goes all the way down to players like Jan van Veen, and they're guys that when they're getting an opportunity against him, more often than not will now take it because the fear factor has been removed. And I think that's part of it that he doesn't like. He used to be, Michael loved being on that pedestal, and he was on it, rightly so, because, like you say, he's the second best dart player that's ever picked them up.
Behind Phil Taylor, just to clarify, not behind Chris Mason. No. TV title winner.
Yeah, I just think that's part of it as well, which grates with him. That remember when he used to say, "Oh, I am the best player," and they know it. He now openly admits that, well, they're better than me now. Yeah,
not many, but some.
Listen, first and foremost, the 2 best players in the world are, the 2 Lukes, and I'm just looking at Littler's numbers and Humphries' numbers just for this tournament. 102.4 for the entire tournament, Luke Littler. I mean, they're remarkable numbers. They're the kind of numbers that are up with your MVG's at his very best and your Phil Taylor at his very best.
Well, look, MVG is very best. Played a whole Premier League campaign and averaged more than 106. Now that's mad. That's averaging, that's like 14 darters every leg for 4 months, which is mad. That's why he's the second greatest player of all time. But look, we're going to talk about that game anyway. Let's run through the rest of the matches. Price versus Bunting. Price is through, he's guaranteed, only just, but he is safe. Bunting is eliminated. Now, one of two things happens in this game. They either don't really care that much, or they're just going to play with a bit of freedom, and it could be amazing. And whoever wins that could have a big say in who does get to the playoffs, because obviously they'll play the winner of MVG versus Aspinall. Yeah,
and listen, the one thing that you'll get from these players, that they will try every match, because there's £10,000 for the winner of each night. That's definitely worth putting the graft in for. And I think it'd be twofold, because they both sort of pretty much know their fate now. It might allow them to play with that bit of freedom and hopefully go up there and treat us to a spectacular match.
Yeah, then it's going to be Dobey versus Cross. They've both got to be perfect to have a chance to qualify for the top 4, and then it's the top 2, Littler versus Humphries. But that is John McDonald you can hear behind us. We are about to get the night underway here in Aberdeen. A long-running Premier League venue, our 19th visit to this great city. And Nathan Aspinall is about to kick things off with a bang. He looks fired up, Aspinall. There was a real roll of the shoulders, and he looks like an angry rodent. Cracking the fingers, stretching the shoulders. There's a real focus about him tonight. And when he's like this, he can be very, very dangerous, Chris Mason.
Yes, and Michael knows it, especially this year, and especially in the Premier League. He's focused but looks relaxed, big smile on his face as he fist bumps all the fans that are on the runway. Absolutely packed to the rafters in Aberdeen. A big thumbs up from the ass. He looks all business, doesn't he, Dan?
Yeah, well, it is the standard Premier League set up, the black and gold stage, and you get the standard Nathan Aspinall walk-on, where he is going to conduct the crowd to sing along with the walk-on tunes that he doesn't know all the words to himself, which is a bit of a disgrace because he hears it all the time. So he's going to let them sing it.
That was like Daryl Gurney's, wasn't he? He always used to get the words wrong, and he must have heard it a million times.
We've now got to the point of the song where they do know that this is the bit they know. Oh, I did it. Something. Alibis. Yeah, there we go. They're in. We're in now.
Even Ali G's there. Good effort.
And straight on to the arrival of the 7-time Premier League champion. Mighty Michael van Gerwen, swaying back and forth at the end of the walk-on. Looks perhaps a little more relaxed than Aspinall, although he does have a fly crawling literally all the way across his face.
That was brilliant. I don't know, he didn't feel that. Yeah, they're very much like two fighters doing the ring walk. Good friends off the hockey, but there'll be no friends on it, especially tonight.
Well, if Michael van Gerwen does not reach the playoffs, it is not uncharted territory. This has happened before, but it has only happened once.
When it was behind closed doors, wasn't it?
Yes, and he'd come back from COVID. He obviously wasn't the same player, and it took him a while to get back up to his... Well, I don't think he ever got back to his previous levels, but it took a while for him to get to the level where he was going to win big titles again. But it would be a significant thing for the world of darts were Michael van Gerwen not to be in the playoffs in the Premier League this year. because there's no excuse for it. We've had several months off, it's behind closed doors. This has been a regular Premier League season, and Michael van Gerwen so far has not won a single night. Yeah,
that's an incredible stat. His seasonal numbers with regards to the Premier League: 96.34, just behind Gerwyn Price, who's 96.74. But I think it's been a fairly weak Premier League in terms of overall stats. I think the top two have been absolutely outstanding. I think for the rest, I think it's almost been a case of, they were looking up to them too much, possibly, or worrying about them too, possibly.
It feels to me that over the course of the 4 months, which you are going to get fluctuations, it has been very hit and miss. We have seen some nights of astonishing quality. Gerwyn Price managed to win one, averaging about 104 for the night, and in fact the overall average for the night was a Premier League record. And yet there have been other nights which have got nowhere near those sorts of levels. And so far, whether it's been brilliant or whether it's been less than that, Michael van Gerwen has not been able to assert himself as he has done in so many Premier League campaigns previously.
Yeah, and the stats back up exactly what you say, Dan. They sort of bounce around 1 week 95, then another week 97, then 100, and then 96. It really has bounced around.
Well, Nathan Aspinall has the darts, and his first one is straight in the treble 20. I don't know if he's got brand new set of darts, but they do look particularly shiny today.
Yes, they look like they're straight out of the box.
A ton scored for the Asp in the opener. Michael van Gerwen's going to better that. 2 in the treble 20, comes away with a ton 40. How important is a start in this game, Chris Mason?
Yeah, I mean, for lesser players, they probably, it probably feels like a long game. For these guys, a race to 6 can get away from you really, really quickly.
Back-to-back tons for Nathan Aspinall. Van Gerwen low on the treble 20 and ends up just piling into the block of darts and only comes away with 43. Advantage Nathan Aspinall. Yeah, 301 plays 318.
Definitely a case for the switch there, wasn't there?
Which is exactly what Nathan's doing after being low on the treble 20 with his first dart there. And he does pick off 1 treble 19. So he's picking up 1 treble per visit, the Asp.
Yeah, on course for potentially a 15 dart. MVG does come for cover with success. 134 down to 184. Aspinall 205. Leg 1 opening match of night 15 in Aberdeen.
Straight from the straight and narrow with 1 in the treble 5. But the adjustment is good with 2 treble 20s. Turned out to be an excellent visit. He's down to 70. He should be getting at least 1 dart for the leg. Van Gerwen trebleless with his first 2, but finds a treble to leave 84. Opening leg of the game. Aspinall eyeing up 70 for a 5-visit leg and to go 1-0 up.
Treble 18. He's found, so 2 in hand. Double 8. Only needs the 1. Super start to the match for Aspinall.
No reaction, no celebration. Nathan Aspinall is here for business. He knows he can win his opening game and he could lose in the next one as long as he wins his opening game next week as well. That will be enough because he knows this is a battle with Michael van Gerwen. There are other players who can come into it, of course there are. But if Nathan Aspinall does the business against Mighty Mike 2 weeks running, then that will be enough. And he's kicked off a ton 40 in the second leg against the darts after just 58 from van Gerwen.
Yeah, and Aspinall probably kicking himself, especially last week where he had, not last week, the week before, where he really should have beaten Littler.
Well, it's 2 weeks running as Nathan Aspinall hits another 140. 2 weeks running he's lost to Littler. He missed a match dart in the first instance. He missed 9 darts over the last 2 legs in the next instance. Arguably is an even better chance to beat him.
Yeah, absolutely. And those extra 4 points.
Well, yeah, and it would be in his hands. Everything would be in his hands. Yeah. It kind of is anyway. And that's what Nathan wants. If he's not relying on other people's results, it can all be done by him. And 3 ton 40s from Nathan Aspinall leaves him 81 after 9. And Michael van Gerwen is scrambling to get to a finish. But that is beautiful scrambling because it's the first 180 to leave 42.
Yeah, perfect timing from Michael van Gerwen down to 42. But Aspinall 81. He 2-darted 70 in the leg before. Can he find the treble 19? He does beautifully. Again, 2 in hand.
Wild one, misses wide. Stops, pauses, has another go and pins double 12. Van Gerwen turns away in frustration. Nathan Aspinall not allowing himself any kind of celebration again. There was just a little snarl as he walked back. He knows he cannot afford any let-up. He has to be like this from start to finish against Van Gerwen. But he looks on it tonight.
Yeah, not a flicker from him. He looks like he understands his scenario more than we do.
14 dart hold, 12 dart break from Nathan Aspinall. That is textbook stuff. Make your opponent throw 12 darters.
Yeah, real match play darts, that. Although he's a bit wayward here. Started with 57, then he's at a big 5 and 2 single 20s. So he's offering up his throw to MVG now, who's, well, stolen the darts.
Yeah, one treble visit again from Van Gerwen. Down to 306. Nathan, after 6 darts, has only scored 102 points. Finally gets one into the treble 19 and follows it.
Still in a precarious situation now. MVG from 306, rightly starting on 19s, doesn't get one. Doesn't find a treble 20, so another trebleless visit. 247 MVG, 265 Aspinall. We'll see him start on 19s. 7, well, he'll be open for a 9 count.
Well, that looks very, very good. It's high in the treble 19, and he strays into the 3 segment. So 60 points scored. Couldn't get another treble. It's a single 19, so he's knocked down to a finish.
Yeah, that'll be frustrating. 247 MVG, single 20 low, has to come down over pitches. Small 19, does pick up a treble, leaves himself 154. Aspinall, you would think, Dan, has 6 at 186.
Oh, and it's straight in the treble 20. And he follows with another. Went looking for the bullseye, hits the 25. 41 left for Nathan Aspinall. Van Gerwen needs a massive one, hits the treble 20, follows with another double 17. Misses inside by quite some distance, truth be told.
Yeah, about that. All right, 9 for double 16. His finishing has been near perfect. Finds the single 9. Double 16 for 3-0 and halfway there. Just on the outside. Needs to shuffle over, change the line. Beautiful.
While Nathan Aspinall has taken a 3-0 lead, he looks a little relieved. He is still not giving it big licks. Van Gerwen is subdued at the minute. He has only had 1 dart at double MVG so far, and that was double 17 at the end of a 154 combo. And Aspinall is in there again, matching the ton 40 from Mighty Mike.
Yeah, he's only being offered up crumbs at the moment, the green machine. Both players start with a 140, 97 for MVG. Down to 264, it's on the MVG throw. Aspinall comes for cover with no success, going to have to go back up. 18s. 57. Well, a bit of breathing space for the first time for Michael Van Gerwen.
He's not doing a great deal with it because he's only scored 43, and you can see him trudge to the board. Hairless, green, impenetrable, like a tortoise.
Wild first start. It's in the big 1, almost in the middle, but adjusts brilliantly. Can't leave a finish from there, but does get himself down to 183.
Well, once again, Nathan Aspinall with a poor first dart and then 2 darts in the treble 20 to follow. Van Gerwen only hits a ton. He is down to a finish of 121, but Nathan Aspinall could leave something better. And he's hit another treble 20, so it's 103 left. He's got 1 dart in his hand, pauses, has a little look, decides to go to the bullseye.
Yeah, leaves 78, single 17 from MVG, gets to 54, needs ball. So it's a good thing to go for the ball, because leaving himself 78 should mean at least 1 dart at a double rather than 1 dart at a ball.
Well, Van Gerwen has missed to win his first leg. Nathan Aspinall has had 2 goes at addressing the hockey. Third time lucky, he does get there. Hits a skinny 18, 20 for tops now. He's having to move to the right. He's blocked a path, but there is a route. And he cannot take it for a 4-0 lead. Van Gerwen's best chance of winning a leg in this match. Hits the single 9 to leave double 8. Misses inside on that. And hits double 4. And if anything, he still looks nervous, Van Gerwen.
Yes, scrambled over the line in that leg. Yeah, someone keeps whistling, which is beginning to irritate Nathan. And only it's 43.
Well, the worst night we've had for whistling was up in Scotland, in Glasgow earlier this year. It was pretty dreadful. Hopefully we don't have it like that. 93 for Van Gerwen. Nathan Aspinall did not start the third leg particularly well, but still got away with it. He is making up for things here. 43 to start, 140 to follow. 90-point lead, but that could be eroded very quickly.
All he has to do from here, Dan, is just look after his own throw, and everything else will take care of itself.
There's a danger of that way of thinking, that you sort of don't attack in the same way, though, do you?
No, you're right.
I mean, you are right. If he just holds his throw, he wins the game. But if you start thinking like that, you perhaps don't have the same levels of aggression that you would normally.
Yeah, I think the aggression is best saved on your opponent's throw, where you really try and make something happen.
Well, Van Gerwen's making something happen here against the darts, because he's left 170 with an excellent setup shot. Nathan Aspinall is responding, because that is his first 180 of the game. And again, Nathan Aspinall refuses to roar or celebrate. Van Gerwen cannot find a second treble 20 to give himself a dart at the bullseye. He leaves himself 65. Nathan Aspinall, 80 left. Praying for this first dart to sail into the treble 20. A stuttering toe of the hockey. Waits again. And now he finds it and finds the treble. Double 10 for 4-1. Misses inside. Double 5. Looks up. And misses, and Nathan Aspinall is starting to miss a little bit more.
65 for MVG, finds the 25, 2 at tops, maybe a guide. There's another look at it. Oh, what a dart, and you could hear the roar from MVG. So somehow Dan, we're back on throw.
And that is the first big celebration we've seen from either of them in this tense, important and nervy game. It came from Van Gerwen. Nathan Aspinall was just left swinging his arms backwards and forwards, refusing to even acknowledge MVG. He is desperately trying to stay focused in this game. He started so well. It is still good. He's averaging almost a ton, but he has missed his last 3 darts at double over the last couple of legs. He has had chances to win every single leg of this match, Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, could be 5-0 up. As it is, he's 3-2 down, and MVG on throw. Although it was a stuttering start, found a 140 down to 304. Ton takes Aspinall down to 320.
Well, it's a ton 40 from Michael Van Gerwen. The danger is that Michael Van Gerwen could grow into this game, because he was playing second fiddle to the Asp in the early stages. That can change. So here comes the Asp with another 180 attempt completed. It's 180s in back-to-back legs for Nathan Aspinall now.
Yeah, and Aspinall has to shake off that theme which has been around his game the last couple of Premier Leagues, where he's been the dominant player but still found a way to lose. And only 35 from MVG, so he's on 129. Aspinall on 140. May get 2 bites at this, and back come the whistlers.
It's a large arena, this. There's a lot of people in it, and they might be making a lot of racket here, because Nathan Aspinall double 10 for a 140 checkout and a 4-2 lead. It is massive. It is massive, and it's met with a glare over the shoulder from Nathan Aspinall and nothing else. Now he's looking at the crowd and shaking his head. They've been whistling. He's produced excellence. 140 checkout, and it could be a decisive moment in this game. It's a break back immediately.
Yeah, his second 12-dart break of throw leg in the match. Leads 4-0, but his first dart was nearly in, well, it's treble 5, but nearly in treble 12, and now he's becoming animated.
Well, that is the third time he's done it in this game, having a bad first dart and then hit 2 treble 20s.
And he sort of just gestured to the crowd like, what's wrong with you?
He's playing this game in a furious manner, Nathan Aspinall. It is almost like he's trying to take out the frustrations of the last few weeks, because he is muttering furies to himself as he hits a third 180 in 3 legs, snatches the darts out the board. He is getting very, very angry, and it's actually doing wonders for his game.
Yeah, it's something in terms of coaching you try to tell the youngsters not to do, because it can be counterproductive, but it's working for him. He's down to 90. MVG 271. Yeah, good thinking. 4 19s and a 25 takes him down to 170 if he gets a go.
Is that enough to force Aspinall to go for the bullseye here at the end of the 90 checkout? He's got options here. He could look at the ball first dart. He does, and he's missed it. Hits the 7, 83 left, treble 17. He's found double 16. It's all worked out okay. It has worked out okay. It is another excellent leg from Nathan Aspinall, and it puts him on the brink of victory. And it puts Michael van Gerwen on the brink of being outside the playoff places come the end of the penultimate night of league action. Back-to-back 12 darters from the Asp.
Yeah, wouldn't put it past him. Pile one in here as well. 92 start from MVG, but only 81 for Aspinall. Leads 5-2 in a race to 6.
Well, the crowd have gone from whistling to chanting Nathan Aspinall's name, and he's done it by playing world-class darts. The average now at 105. Van Gerwen's averaging 99 himself, but you've got to remember he has had limited opportunities to even throw at doubles in this game, because it's Aspinall who's been the aggressor for the majority of it.
Well, he had one at the ball, didn't he, off a 1-2-1, one at double 17 off of the 1-5-4. He was just being offered up bits.
93.
Bunch treble 18 with his last start, down to 2-1-6. Aspinall 3-6-5. Love a 2 treble visit. Big 20 followed by a big 20. Only a 60. Well, he could. Right, may as well just have this leg off. If anything comes from it, bonus. If not, attacking the next leg.
Well, that is a maximum from MVG. It's his second 180 of the game, and it leaves him on 36. This leg looks like it has gone as far as Nathan Aspinall is concerned, and he acted like it because he threw that last dart away in frustration. He is miles behind, and Nathan Aspinall is now only 5-3 up, because the double 18 is found first start by MVG, who still, he is, apart from one little roar from MVG, the rest of the time he's looked nervous because he has been kept under the thumb of Nathan Aspinall for most of this match.
Yeah, he's had very little to celebrate. Like I say, when the legs, primarily the 2 of the 3 legs he's won, he could have lost. Certainly, one of them he should have lost.
60.
Only 60, both players opening with 60. Aspinall 5-3, needs one more.
He's in the treble 20 though now, Nathan Aspinall. And again, it is a fourth 180 in the last 5 legs from Nathan Aspinall. The power scoring has arrived in the second half of this game for the Asp.
And without doubt, this is the biggest night of his camp, or the biggest match of the campaign so far for him, because a defeat here could have ultimately, well, a defeat for either of them. I mean, it's not done and dusted, but it could end their campaign. Well, be the beginning of the end.
What this does mean, if Van Gerwen loses this, we are going to the final week. That is guaranteed, and it does mean that these two will play each other again next week in the quarterfinals. Only 85 from Van Gerwen. He trails by 61 points. Nathan Aspinall 204, just outside finishing range. What can he leave himself? Single 20, single 19,
64.
and a bull, well, half bull to leave 64 leaves 140, which he's already hit.
Yeah, he knows how to do that, doesn't he?
Van Gerwen desperately looking for another treble. He found it, 123 scored. He is down to a finish. 142 plays 140. Aspinall looking at the 140. Could he take it out for a second time in this game? He stutters, he stops, he throws his first dart the wrong side of the wire and into the treble 5. But again, the adjustment is brilliant. He's done it so well in this game. Treble 22nd dart. Last start into the skinny 12 when he went looking for the bullseye, but he leaves himself 53, single to double. Van Gerwen can't get the 1-4-2 going, and he misses the bull second dart. It's only a single 19. It is messy. And Nathan Aspinall is going to get match darts here. Steps back. Big deep breath. Trying to G himself up. The first dart finds the single 13. It leaves double top. He moves the wire. And he moves the wire again, and he is staring at that target, willing one of those darts to be in there.
You could have a go at that, Dan, 10 times and not put that dart next to the other dart. Well, on 90, MVG's gone 54 for double 18, hit a single, and then gone for double. That's a wrong play.
It's an aggressive play. It has not worked out, and it means that he's on 36, but Nathan Aspinall's already on tops. He is stamping on the oche, ready to hit the match dart. But can he do it? Right now, he's high with the first. He is not with the second. Nathan Aspinall almost shakes his head for taking so long to get rid of mighty Michael van Gerwen. He has not got rid of him. He will not get rid of him in the race for the playoffs tonight. But he has taken a huge step towards being at the O2, because Nathan Aspinall is going to finish tonight in the top 4, and Michael van Gerwen will not. Chris Mason, we said this is one of the biggest nights of the whole 4 months of action, and Nathan Aspinall has stepped up and delivered.
Yeah, he really did step up, and you picked up on it very early. Michael looked edgy on the walk-on, and then walked into a very good Nathan Aspinall, deserved winner. Good numbers throughout the match, loads of 180s, a lovely big finish on the 140 that really was a game changer. In the end, they've similar averages down.
Similar averages, both around the 97 mark, but the crucial thing, Nathan Aspinall got 14 darts at double. That is twice the number that MVG got. He outscored him, he created more chances, and he took them, and he might be taking his chance to reach the playoffs in this year's Premier League. He can't get the job done tonight, but he will face the winner of our next game, Gerwyn Price or Stephen Bunting. But when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. That's where NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro steps up to the hockey. Think of it as your personal referee, keeping dodgy websites, malware and phishing scams from sneaking into your setup. You paying attention, Mace? It even blocks those pesky ads, so you won't get distracted mid-leg. Go to nordvpn.com/darts VPN and get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Remember, like and subscribe on the talkSPORT YouTube as well. There are people desperate in the social media promotions office. They've got annual performance reviews coming up. Coming up, though, Gerwyn Price, Stephen Bunting.